Oh, and last thing, if you have a roller and you want, like at the last minute or two of class, I'm gonna throw out like some optional uh, poses. I'll give a couple suggestions. If you have a roller and you want to roll out your bones, I know some of you missed that. I missed that. Then grab that too. Grab my roller. Handy. Okay, let's start because I think it's time. And whoever's going to join can come. So you're going to start lying flat on your mat on your back. And we'll arrive. I'm going to mute you all because that's a good thing. So start by taking a couple cleansing breaths. So inhale through your nose and then sigh out the mouth. Couple cleansing breaths like that. Inhaling through your nose and then letting it out of your mouth. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And then go ahead and reach your arms up overhead. Then flex your feet and begin to press the tops of the thighs down and the backs of your arms down. Just kind of waking up the muscles. And grab a hold of the left wrist with the right two fingers. And then flex the feet and push down and go straight up and then lean to the right. And then come back to center and switch sides. Grab a hold of the right wrist with the left two fingers and flex the feet, press down and go straight up to start and then lean to the left. And then come back to center and draw your knees into your chest. And place your hands on the tops of your knees and begin to make small, slow circles in one direction. And then reverse the direction of the circles. And then come back to center and go wide and around and in, wide and around and in. And then switch the direction of those circles. And then draw the knees back into the chest and draw your nose up to your knees. Give it a squeeze. And then begin to rock forward and back. Forward and back. Forward, back. And then rock yourself onto hands and knees. Let's move some of these obstacles out of the way. There we go. And come to hands and knees. And begin to wag your tailbone from side to side. So close your eyes, maybe circle your head in one direction as you're wagging your tail. Maybe circle your head in the other direction. And then begin to circle your hips down and around and forward. And come back to center and circle them the opposite direction. No right or wrong way to move. And then come back to center for a little cat and cow. So inhale, arch up, look up, exhale, curl. Couple rounds like that. Go slow, take your time. And then drop your hips back towards your heels and find child's pose for a few breaths. And coming back to hands and knees, little spinal lengthening. You're going to extend your right arm out with the thumb pointing straight up towards the ceiling. And then your left leg is going to extend. And then flex the back foot and begin to push. So animate the pose by lengthening and reaching through the fingers and then pressing through the back heel. So keep your gaze slightly forward so your head and neck are in line with the spine. And then release. And switch sides. Left arm's gonna reach, right leg's gonna extend, and then begin to wake up the pose. So flex the foot and push and drive, extend the left fingers, and then keep your head and neck slightly forward, your gaze slightly in front of your mat, and then release. Beautiful. And then tap your toes. Let's find our way into downward dog very slowly. So begin by lifting the knees just a couple inches hovering, and then slowly begin to lift your hips, finding your way into downward dog and pedaling out your feet. Bend one knee, sink the opposite heel. Just kind of pedal, 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 wake up the bones in the feet. And then on an inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Just reach and stretch and open. And then release. And then switch sides. Reach the left leg up and back. Reach and stretch and open. And then release. And then walk your pinky toes to the outer edges of your mat. And walk your hands in towards your hips like midway. And cup your fingers. And then just rock your hips, sway your hips forward and back. Just kind of forward onto your pinky toes with the heels and back towards the heels, lift the toes. So just kind of rocking back and forth. And then find stillness and plant the right palm to the center. So here's, I forgot to say this, sorry. Here's where maybe some of you can benefit by building the ground up, by taking your block or your book or whatever you have that's a prop that kind of build the floor up, the height. And that way maybe you can get a little bit more comfort in the pose. And so begin to plant the left palm, right? Reach the left arm up. So a little bit of a twist now, starting to open up the side body. Circle the left wrist one way, circle it the other way, and then release that and switch sides. Left palm down, right palm up, open that body, waistline, rib cage, and then circle the right wrist one way, and then circle it the other way, and then release. And then slowly, like inch your way up the mat. Keep your knees bent. Inch your way. Keep your pinky toes lined up with the outer edge of the mat until you find your way back to downward dog. And then shake your head yes. And then shake your head no. And then heel toe your feet back to hip distance. So just kind of walk them back to the center of the mat a little bit. Beautiful. Couple breaths in down dog. Maybe some of you bend your knees as you lift your hips. So down dog is not heel to ground pose, it's long spine pose. And then reach the right leg up and back, come onto the balls of the left toes, bend the right knee, open the hip, circle the right ankle one way, circle it the other way. Circle the knee and the hip joint one way, and then the other way. And then straighten the leg and reach and push, reach and push, reach and push. And then lower. Drop down to your knees. Take a child pose. Finding your way back to downward dog as we do the other side. And then reach the left leg up and back and bend the knees, open the hips, circle the ankle one way, circle it the other way, circle the knee and the hip joint one direction, and then circle it the other direction, and then straighten the leg and reach and push, reach, 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 push, lower the leg, drop down to the knees, child's pose. Downward facing dog. On an inhale, reach the right leg up and back. On an exhale, step it between your hands. Drop the back knee down. Let's open the hip. So you're just going to kind of straighten the leg and then bend the knee. So just teeter-totter back and forth, straightening and bending. Straightening and bending. A couple more times with motion. And then bend the knee and elevate the torso. Let me move the camera a little bit. Always a matter of adjustments. And then extend the arms, come up. And grab a hold of the left wrist with the right two fingers. And go up and then lean to the right, to the side. And then switch sides, switch hands. Reach the right wrist with the left two fingers and go up and lean to the left. Oh. And then release and straighten the front leg. Hamstring stretch. And then rebend the knee. And here's where your block or book or prop might come in handy. Place it to the right side of the leg and then reach the right hand to the block or the floor and the left arm overhead at an angle. So a little deeper into the stretch. And then release. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Downward dog. Pedal out the feet. Bend one knee, sink the heel. Bend the other knee, sink the heel. Just kind of pedal. Beautiful. When you're ready, reach the left leg up and back. Step it through. Drop the back knee down. And then we do this whole movement, rocking forward and back. Bending the knee as you rock forward. Straightening the leg as you rock back. A little bit of movement and motion. Kind of oiling the hip joint. Couple more times. Last time. And then bend the knee and reach, extend the torso. Grab a hold of the right wrist with the left two fingers. Go up first to start, then lean to the left. Switch hands. Grab a hold of the left wrist with the right two fingers, lean to the right. Come back to center, grab your prop if you have it. Aim your left fingers to your prop. Reach your right arm overhead at an angle. So really stretching the right side body. Come back to center, straighten the left leg, hamstring stretch. Rebend the left knee, step the foot back, downward dog. Pull out the feet. Gazing at your hands, step or hop your feet to meet your hands and arch. Exhale, bow. You're gonna place your hands on your shins. Maybe adjust so you can see me a little bit better. There we go. Place your hands on your shins. You're gonna press your shins back and lift your sternum and torso forward. Keep lifting your tailbone, slight bend in the knees, so don't hyperextend, but keep pushing the shins back and pressing the palms against the shins. Inhale, arch up, look up, exhale, release. Couple times like that. Hands on shins, press the shins back, lift the torso, reach, exhale, release. 2 more times. Inhale, long spine, arch up, press the shins. Exhale, release. Last time. Inhale, arch up, look up. Exhale, release. Separate your feet a little wider than hip distance. Put a generous bend in your knees. Grab a hold of your elbows. Let your torso hang. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. If you like to rock your torso from side to side, feel free to explore that. Release the arms, clasp them together behind the back, and then draw the arms up and over. Here's, if you have tight shoulders, if you have your towel, your scarf, your prop, you can grab a hold of these items, right? And then reach your arms overhead with your towel or your strap, right? Deep belly breaths. Release the arms, release your prop. Hang for a couple breaths, just hang. Bend your knees. We're gonna roll up the spine, 1 vertebra at a time, grounding down through our feet. When you come to standing, we're gonna do a couple sun salutations. So you're gonna come to standing, you're gonna find Tadasana. So bring your feet together, your big toes together at the front of your mat. And then close your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes and then sway your weight, full body weight towards your toes forward, and then sway your weight back. So you're just kind of swaying your body forward and back with your eyes closed. So seeing if you can find the plumb line, like stacking the spine with your eyes closed. So just finding your way in space with the different sensory awakening. And then come back to center, right? And stack your bones, find the plumb line. So line the crown of the head with your tailbone, right up over your arches, and then press the balls of your feet and your heels and the inner and outer arches down. So you're gonna feel the legs engage when you do that. And then lift up through the back ribs and the crown of the head, and then reach vigorously down through the fingers, right? And then soften through the chest. So no back bending, but keep the ribs in. So rib, hip connection, like you had a girdle, like everything shifting towards the midline, maybe a little bit back towards the back body a bit. And then from this position, we move towards sun salutation. So turn the palms up, take a big inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold, down you go. Sun salutations. Inhale, arch up, look up. Exhale, step the feet back, top of the push-up position, pause. Take a big inhale here. On an exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Baby, baby cobra on an inhale. Exhale down. Couple baby cobras. 2 more baby cobras. Last baby cobra. Then you're gonna lift your torso, bend the knees, tuck the toes, downward dog. Pedal off the feet. Step your left foot between your hands, then step your right. Inhale, arch up, look up. Exhale, bow. Inhale, roll up the spine to standing, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we do a few more like these, sun salutations. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, down you go, forward fold. Long spine on the inhale, reach. Step it back on your exhale, plank position. Inhale at the top of the plank. Exhale down to the floor. Inhale, baby, baby cobra. Exhale. This time climbing up the cobra ladder. Inhale a little higher. Exhale. Inhale halfway. Exhale. Inhale a little bit higher. Exhale. This time maybe all the way into upward facing, maybe not. If you're in upward facing, you're gonna kind of swivel your hips from side to side. And then release. Inhale, pushing up through the ground, either by lifting the torso, bending the knees, and finding down dog, or by simply pressing all the way up to push up, back to downward dog. Pedal out the feet. Step your right foot between the hands and step the left. Arch up on an inhale. Forward fold on your exhale. Coming all the way up to standing, starting to wake up the body. Hands to the heart center. So nice. Movement and breath. 2 more like that. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, down you go, forward fold. Long spine on the inhale. Step it back on your exhale. Top of the push-up, pause to inhale. Lower down on the exhale. Inhale. Halfway cobra. Exhale. 2 more times. Halfway cobra. Exhale. Last time. Halfway cobra. Exhale. This time, stay with halfway cobra or all the way up to upward facing. Exhale. Coming all the way up, whichever way you wish, to downward dog and pedaling out the feet. Waking up the bones. Step your left foot between your hands, then your right. Big arch, inhale, look up. Forward fold, exhale. Coming up to standing, stacking the bones in the spine, arms reaching up, and then bringing it right into the heart center. One more time, just like that. Nice job. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, down you go, forward fold. Long spine on the inhale. Step it back on your exhale. Inhale at the top. Exhale, lower. Inhale, halfway. Exhale. 3 times. Inhale, halfway. Exhale. Last time. Inhale, halfway. Exhale. Coming all the way up and back. Downward dog. Step your right foot between the hands. Step the left. Arch up on the inhale. Forward fold on the exhale. Coming up to standing. Arms reach, 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 reach. Pull it into the heart. Nice work, everybody. Let's do some standing poses. Little balance poses. Let's do tree pose. Left leg's the standing pose, the standing leg. Right leg's either gonna come to the calf, right? Or you can use it as a kickstand if you're kind of stabilizing. Feel free to use a wall, right? So that's really helpful. Or come all the way into the full expression of the pose. Any variation with the arms work. So you can bring your hands to your heart. You can bring your arms overhead. Find a focal point at eye level and breathe in and out of that spot. And then draw the knee back to the chest. Grab a hold of the knee with both hands. And then you're gonna bend the left knee slightly, whoop, whoop, and then straighten. And then bend and straighten. 2 more times, bending and straightening, and bending. And then straighten the leg and reach the arms overhead. We take 3 breaths like this. And then to release, we carry water, chop wood. Hua. 3 times. Hua. Last time. Hua. Beautiful. Find stillness. Take a moment. Switch sides. Right leg, standing leg. Left leg, kickstand, calf, or full expression. Any variation with the hands. Bring the knee to the chest. Grab a hold of the knee with both hands. You bend the right knee and then straighten, grow tall. A couple times like this. We bend and we straighten. We bend, we grow tall. Last time, bend, grow tall. Extend the leg, reach the arms. Breathe. 3 breaths. Last breath. We carry water, chop wood. Hua. Hua. Last time. Hua. Beautiful. Find stillness now. Arms down by your sides. So basically Tadasana. Big toes together. So make 2 legs, 1 leg, zip the inseam, then press down and go up. Reaching down through the fingers, lifting up through the crown of the head, softening through the chest, rib, hip connection, like you had a girdle or corset, and somebody was like pulling this in. And when you do that, you can feel the whole body move and shift towards the back, right? Breathe here. Nice. Separate the feet hip distance, just a little bit. Bring your arms out parallel to the floor, and then just kind of begin to shift the tailbone. So it'll be like, whoop, shift the tailbone, bend the knees, shift the tailbone, bend the knees, boop, boop, boop. So chair pose, basically, but arms parallel. So we take the arms out of the equation, and then we sit back towards the heels, and then stand up. And then we do that again. Bend, arms parallel, right? Now this time, grab a hold of the thumbs, right? Grab a hold of your thumbs, and then pull the arms out of the socket, and then lock the shoulders back into the shoulder girdle, and then release. And we do that one more time. This time, switch, flip the direction, flip the pinkies, the grip of the thumbs, parallel the arms, and now you're going to bring the arms over where at an angle, where the wall and ceiling meet. So not quite, the biceps not quite up to the ears, just the chin to the chin. And then sit back, push the shins back, and then stand up. Beautiful. Last variation. You're gonna bend the knees, find chair pose, bring your hands to your heart. Twist to the left, hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Breathe. Twisting chair pose. One more breath. Release. Forward fold. Back to chair pose. We do the right side now. Chair pose. Hands to the heart. Twist to the right. Line the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Breathe here. Two more breaths. And then release. Forward fold. Nice. Bend the knees, roll up the spine. Beautiful. Extend the right leg forward, the left leg back. Let's find warrior two. Second position, warrior two. Deep bend on the right hand side. Bend, 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 bend. Reach the arms straight ahead. Find a focal point somewhere beyond your right fingers. And then we straighten the right leg and reach the arms overhead. And then bend and bring the arms back to parallel. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Couple times like that. Inhale, exhale. Breath and movement. Two more times. Last time. Beautiful. Stay in warrior two. You're going to slide the right elbow to the top of the right knee or thigh. Reach the left arm. Just kind of circle slowly. Big circles with the left arm, opening up the shoulder girdle. Slow and controlled. And then switch the direction of those circles. And then stop where the left arm straight up towards the ceiling. Then bring the left arm out in front of you. So at like a T, right? And then turn the left pinky fingers in. Internally rotate the left pinky fingers and then sweep that arm overhead at an angle, but not down like this where the body begins to round, but up. Beautiful. Take a couple breaths like this. One more breath. Beautiful. Press down on the right big toe like it was a pedal to lift your torso to come back up to the second warrior. Bring your hands to your hips. Internally turn the right toes in and the left toes out. And now we find our way to the second warrior on the left side. Reach the arms, so nice, beautiful. And then we do just what we did on the other side. We straighten and reach the arms, and then we bend and release. Couple times, like 5. Three more. Last one. And then line the left elbow to the top of the left thigh, down close towards the knee. Bend, bend, bend. Get really deep on that left side. Feel that left hip open. And then we circle the right arm. One direction slowly, big circles. Don't fling the arm, be in control. You don't want to hurt your rotator cuff. And then switch the direction of those circles. Juicy. Last time. And then stop where the right arm straight up towards the ceiling. Take a moment just to kind of open underneath the right armpit. Press down through the left elbow. Reach up through the right shoulder and armpit. Then bring the right arm forward. Internally rotate the right pinky fingers. You're going to feel that whole shoulder internally rotate. And then sweep the arm overhead at an angle. So not down, but up so you can feel the whole, both side bodies stretching and opening. Nice, breathe here. Don't forget to plug that right shoulder back into the socket. So don't let it reach too far up towards the ear, just kind of plug it down. You'll feel the collarbones open and the front of your chest widen. 2 more. Beautiful, last one. And now press down through the left foot as if it were a pedal to lift your torso to come up, back to the second warrior. Nice. Take a couple breaths. Hands to the hips. You're gonna internally rotate the left toes. Now the feet are parallel, right? So the toes aren't out, but they're parallel. And then take a moment to kind of bend the knees in concave and then press into it. And you'll feel the whole side of your hips wake up. So bend and then press and lift. So bend and then press and lift. And now see if you can press evenly into both feet. So the big toe side of the foot and the whole line of the right side of the foot, the pinky toe side of the foot, the outer edge of the foot, the whole foot pressing, both feet pressing evenly down into the mat. And notice what that does to your hips and your thighs and the inner groins. Nice. And then on an inhale, just reach the arms out to the side. Keep pressing down through the feet. Draw the tailbone, you're gonna kind of tuck just a little bit and then press the hips back into that tuck. So there's no tuck really. You tuck to kind of feel where it is, and then you press into that to lengthen through the tailbone. So nice. On an exhale, down you go. Line your hands up underneath your shoulders to start. And then you're gonna arch up on an inhale, look up. On an exhale, let everything go. 2 breaths here. Last breath. Bend the knees. Roll up the side, C curve. Roll up the spine in a C curve. Nice. Inhale, arms reach. Next time, this next series, we're going to grab a hold of our ankles. Exhale, grab the ankles. Inhale, arch up, look up. Exhale, bend the elbows out to the side and pull your torso down. One more breath. Micro bend in the knees. Hands on the hips. Roll yourself. C curve. Back up to standing. This last variation, some of you will benefit from your strap or your towel or your scarf or whatever you have that's handy. And you're going to grab a hold of it behind your back. Like this. Right? And on an inhale, we're going to arch and find a little bit of a back bend for 3 breaths. So arch up, look up, press into your feet to support your lower back. 3 breaths. And then bend the knees a little bit and rock your torso forward. Come over, come up and over, arms overhead. Release the strap or whatever prop you're using. And then crawl over to your right. You're going to pivot over to the right into a lunge. Just going to kind of lunge into that hip. Nice. And then come back to center and pivot over to the other side and lunge into the left hip. Come back to center. You're going to just kind of bend the right knee deep and lift the left toes. So I'm on my right toes, my right heel's off the ground. And then pivot to the other side. I'm on my left toes now, my left heel's off the ground. Couple times we pivot. Pivot. And now stay on this left side and just come all the way down to the mat, hurdler stretch. So you'll have to figure out what's most comfortable with your left ankle. So either you can like position the left foot so that you're on your left big toe, or you can position it so that the back of the arch, the ankle gets a nice deep stretch. Okay, now for some of you, this is going to be challenging enough. So you just stay upright. For some of you, you can come forward. When you're ready, come up, and now we go back. So once again, don't go further than your body is ready or talking to you, right? So for some of you, just staying up here is going to be perfect. For some of you, you're going to be able to drop back to your elbows. For some of you, you're going to be able to drop all the way back to your back. Come up. Last variation, you're gonna come through the center. Like this one's really deep, so go slow. Maybe don't even go that far. Some of you might be able to get your elbows down to the ground, but this one, you're really gonna feel it along the left hip flexor and the side of your left hip. And then come up, help that left leg straighten. So just kind of help it out. Both legs forward, shake them out. And then switch sides. Right leg's gonna come behind you. You're gonna find that hurdler stretch on the right side. And once again, be mindful of your right toes. So find the position on the right foot. Let me reposition myself so you can actually see what I'm talking about. So either this is okay for your ankle or this. This is a little less pressure on the tendons of the ankle. So you find whichever one works best for you. And once again, straight up and down, this is a lot of work. Or you come forward if you can. Come up, and now if you can, you sit back. For some of you, that's going to be too extreme. So you stay upright, right? There's no ego involved here. It's just like checking in what's best for your own body, right? So some of you now can go back to your elbows. Some of you can go all the way to the ground with your back on the floor. Breathe, deep belly breaths. And then come up, and now the last variation, we go straight down the middle, right? So this is really intense for this whole right hip. And so go slow, don't go that far. And then come up and extend both legs wide. Go slow. Like a lot of injuries happen in the transitions when you're trying to get out of the pose, right? That's when something gets pulled. So if you work mindfully, you think of the transitions getting out of the pose as a pose itself, you'll be fine. Now we come down the center. So we all have a different range of flexibility and mobility in the hips, right? So for some of you, just upright is going to be the perfect position. And for some of you, you're going to be able to come down to your elbows. You crawl yourself up and zip your legs together. Just kind of zip, 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 and then shake them out. Very good. Bring your right leg in and your left leg out. And so here's where your strap and your towel can come in handy, right? So you're going to inhale, lift up, 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 and then exhale, hook. If you don't have a strap, you just come to wherever your palms land, right? You don't pull yourself down. You just kind of let your palms come on either side of the leg and then C curve. And then come up and switch sides. Extend the right leg out, bring the left leg in. And finding your prop if you have one and you find that useful, right? And then you're gonna bring your arms up and reach up, up, up through the shoulders and then hook and then pull yourself down. If you don't have a strap or a prop, you just place your hands on either side of the leg and then bend through the elbows, C curve. And then come up and bring the soles of your feet together. And we start by just kind of flapping our wings, just kind of letting the hips open and getting a little movement in the hips. And then find stillness, and then bend the elbows over the shins and round the spine. And then inhale, come up. And you're going to bring the left hip to the left heel to the right hip. And then the right foot is just, we're going to do a slight variation of a twist. The right foot's going to stay on the floor in front of you. Left heel, right hip. Right foot right on the floor. Grab a hold of the knee with both hands, the right knee, and then lift up. Lift up to the crown of the head, lift up to your lower back. Like get out of the waistline. Beautiful. Then reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Reach the right arm behind you. Use the left palm to twist for leverage. Don't hook. Just use the position of the left palm on the right knee to twist through the rib cage. And now slowly straighten the right leg. Keep the right foot on top of the left foot on below the right leg and keep twisting. Beautiful. Come back to center. We switch sides. Left leg extends. Right heel comes to the left hip. Left foot on the ground. Grab a hold of the left knee with both palms and then press down to the left foot. Lift up through the waistline. Beautiful. Reach the left arm up. Sweep the left arm back. And now use the leverage of the right hand on that knee to twist through the waistline and the rib cage. Come back to center, straighten the left leg, and then twist again. Beautiful. Unwind, extend the legs. We come forward, fold. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, down you go. Come up. C curve. We come all the way down our mat with the C curve all the way down the mat to our backs, to the ground. And then draw the knees into the chest. And hug, take a hug. Draw the right arm out to the side like a T. Drop both knees to the left. Spinal twist. Bend knees. Come back to center. Draw the left arm out to the side like a T. Drop both knees to the right. Close your eyes. back to the center. Drop, place both soles of your feet on the mat. Extend your arms wide out to the side like a T. Drape the right knee tight over the left, so no gap. And then drop both knees to the left. Come back to center, switch sides. Left knee drapes over the right. Drop both knees to the right. Knees into the chest, back to your back. So I'm going to offer an inversion. So you can either do passive inversion with the legs straight up like this. If you have a roller, you can place the roller underneath your hips. If you like shoulder stand, you can practice shoulder stand. So any variation that's calling out to you is acceptable. So I'm gonna do my hips on the roller with my legs up towards the ceiling. So supported inversion. And then feel free to kind of play with the range of motion in your hips. You can spread your legs wide. You can kind of lift one leg forward, the other leg back. You can bicycle. Like you can do any variation that is calling out to you. You can bring the soles of your feet together, kind of play with dropping the knees up and down. There is no right or wrong way to go. Just take about 3 minutes in inversion. You can circle your ankles around. You can flex and point, flex and point. There's so many things you can play with. You can bring the heels together in like a Pilates V. You can open and close. Last minute. And then bend the knees. If you're on your roller, you can keep your hips up on the roller. If you're in shoulder stand, you're gonna come to plow pose, right? And then from plow pose, you're gonna bend your knees. And then if you have a roller, you're gonna roll the roller gently away from your hips. And everybody end up on your back with your knees into your chest. And take a moment. And so for these last 2 minutes, I want to give you the option, right, of choosing a pose that's calling out to you that we didn't do. So maybe for some of you, it's pigeon pose. Like, oh, darn, I wish we'd have done pigeon. So you choose pigeon. Maybe for some of you, it's more inversion. If you have a roller, like for me, I'm gonna roll out my bones, right? So if you have a roller, you're gonna take the time to just kind of roll up and down in the roller. Oh. Last pose that's calling out to you that you wish we had done in the class. Like, oh, this is my favorite pose. I wish we did this. Now's your chance. Maybe it's bridge pose. Last minute. If you did pigeon pose or an asymmetrical pose and you haven't changed sides yet, please change sides for the last 30 seconds. And then when you're feeling complete, you're gonna come lie flat on your mat and set yourself up for Shavasana. If you have a roller, it's nice to use the roller underneath your knees. If you have a pillow nearby, you wanna use that to support your head. Set yourself up, kind of wiggle your hips from side to side. Ironing out all the creases in your lower back, upper back. And then take this time now to be still. Resist all temptation to fidget and just get still and close your eyes. Let's take a couple cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose. Audible exhale. One more time like that. Inhaling through the nose deeply. Let it go. Getting very still now. Closing your eyes. Slowly coming back to your body by making circular movements with your fingers and your wrists and your toes and your ankles. And then reaching your arms overhead for a full body stretch. And then drawing your knees to your chest and rolling onto your right hand side into a fetal position. And then pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position with your eyes closed. So just taking a moment to be still. And then bringing our hands together at our hearts and sealing our practice by bowing our heads in gratitude. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace in our homes. And may there be peace in the world. Namaste. And I will unmute you all, get out of this blinding sun. How come I can never figure this out? Hey, everybody, can you hear me? I can't. I'm like, unmute all, but it's not unmuting. Anyway, love you all. Have a great Sunday. See you tomorrow. I will be at the club tomorrow. Let me turn this off. I'm not sure.